Hello YouTube, I'm back with another video. Today I'm mostly going to be making a tier list. I've done a few of these in the past. I think this maybe is the third or maybe even the fourth one. And I'm doing these every end of the version of like this end of 1.1 tier list, the final tier list for 1.1, as 1.2 is literally tomorrow. So yeah, let's just get right into it. Arlan, from what I've heard, eventually play damage is still pretty damn bad. Asta, in my opinion, is A tier. This is mostly going to be from a F2P standpoint. I'm not a whale. I don't know what characters that do it C6, like 5-star characters. I'm not making a tier list like that. This is mostly from an F2P low spender tier list. So yeah, Asta for an F2P player, even a low spender, is an absolutely amazing character, absolutely amazing breaker up shields, and also an amazing support. She is basically one of the only two characters, from not wrong, in the whole entire game that can speed up a character and get him to do more turns. Next is Bailu. Bailu is still S tier. Lucha kind of took her place as the best healer. No, he definitely took her place as the best healer and best abundant support in the game, but she is still extremely valuable. She's basically the second best healer from all three of them that we have at the current standpoint. Extremely valuable in Chaos Memory. Overall, a great character. There's not much to her kit besides that she does a lot of healing. Blade is gonna become 1.2. We don't know. I'm not gonna say anything about him until I see people try it out, or I get lucky enough to get myself Blade and test him out. So currently, I'm not gonna say anything about him. Bronya, S tier, best support in the game, best buffer in the game, because support now is also healers. And she's basically the best buffer in the game currently. Does an amazing job, speeds up characters, increases their critical damage by a whole lot, and yeah, overall just great character. She also kind of like dispels debuffs with her E skill, which is absolutely amazing. Next is her. Okay, so I do not know exactly where to put. I'd put her on A tier. Okay, this is not gonna be like this character in the S tier is better than this character in the S tier. It's just the tier list from S, A, B. These are not like sorted out. So I'll say she's in the A rank, just because she doesn't really. I can't really put her on the same tier as Bailu and Bronya. And she's absolutely amazing for physical, but her like fighting style is kind of clunky. The reason being that she does most of her damage from follow-up attacks, and some people just might not like that playing style. It's not for everyone, and yeah, she's absolutely amazing physical DPS. If you get her, you should definitely use her better than all the other, all the other physical DPSs currently in the game. Su Shang is pretty damn good, but I feel like Clara is still better. Next is Dan Heng. Dan Heng, I'd say, has kind of fallen off, just with the addition of other characters that will definitely put him even lower on the list. And I just don't feel like there's a lot of DPSs currently in the game, a lot of different things you can employ. And I just don't feel like Dan Heng is really the best at the moment as a DPS. He's still a very good win DPS, as we don't really have any others besides like Sampo. But yeah, I'd say B tier. Absolutely, you should definitely build him if you do not have any other win DPSs like Sampo. He's extremely valuable for that. Extremely good free to play character. But yeah, I'm putting him in the B tier. Please remember, this is only my own tier list. I haven't really developed my Dan Heng. I'm sure if you put a lot of stuff into him, he's gonna do a heck ton of damage. But yeah, that's where I'll put him. Next is Gepard. Gepard is also S tier. He's the best defense unit in the game. Does a lot of defense. If you have him, you basically don't need a healer. Will like carry you through the chaos memory as well. Extremely valuable for the end game. Not so much for the beginning of the game, but that's not really something you should really base your character on. I'm mostly basing these characters on the end game and how they are going to be used. Next is Herta. Herta, I'd say, is C tier above Arlan. We also are constantly going to be getting all her Eidolons with the added new simulation worlds, and we'll be eventually getting her at C6 without even summoning, which is pretty damn good. She does okay, and considering she's cryo, she has some availability. So C tier. Himiko, I put her on B tier together with Don Hung. She's a 5-star character of she's pretty damn good, but she doesn't really compare to the others in the above tiers, mostly because she doesn't do as much damage. If I'm going to be honest, she's the worst 5-star we have currently, and it kind of feels sad because her character design is one of the best. I mentioned this in the other videos as well. So yeah, B tier. Next is our little adorable kid here, and to be honest, I'll put her on B tier as well. Absolutely pretty good, not absolutely, but pretty good pyro or like fire DPS. Can be usable if you build her right. She can absolutely do a lot of damage, especially considering she's a 4-star. She does pretty damn good damage, and yeah, that's where I'll be putting her. Jingyuan, C6, definitely up here. Not C6, A tier though. He does a lot of damage, but he needs a ton of investment. When I say a ton, I mean a ton. At C6, his real potential is unlocked. He does huge damage, but that's just not really available at at E0. I've been playing too much Genshin lately. At E0, he doesn't really do as much damage. It just doesn't offer the same things that the S ranks do. Next is Kafka, but we don't really have her yet. Lucha, S tier. Lucha, just as I have already predicted in the past videos that I've done, he came out absolutely amazing. Crazy character. Not crazy, but like crazy usability. The best healer currently in the game. Also does a decent amount of damage. He's an imaginary. This also helps with break for others that do not have wealth. But now we have also Yukong, which does the imaginary break as well, which is awesome. We finally got a 4-star imaginary breaker. Absolutely amazing. Also does cleansing with both his E skill as well as his ultimate, which is broken. And yeah, best healer in the game. Might even be getting close to best character in the game currently. Next is March 7th. She's going to the B rank. Is absolutely usable, free to play shielder. We get her for free, which is amazing. And yeah, there's nothing much to say. Does defense and does it pretty well. Natasha, I'm going to be putting her at A rank, just because she's not really as good as Bailu or Lucha, but she does healing and she does it good. That's all I can really say about her. And also she offers cleanse with one of her traces. Next is Pella. Pella, I'd say, is B tier. She's a debuffer. She's pretty good, especially at Eidolon 6, but I'm not really gonna mention that because not everyone's gonna have Eidolon 6 Pella. And yeah, there's not much to say. She's okay. The next is Qingshu or QQ. I don't know how to say that name still. A rank, mostly just because she's the only 4-star quantum damage dealer that we have. Still, her usability is absolutely amazing. If you don't have Silverwolf or Sealy, she's one of the probably most usable characters, especially in like Chaos Memory, if you do not have those two. Next is Sampo. Stompo is definitely going to the A tier. I'd say he currently is the best win DPS in the game. And yeah, he does a lot of stuff. He's based like a dot unit, like damage over time. Best wins DPS currently, at least that's in my own opinion. Sealy is definitely S tier. Sealy does a fuck ton of damage. Sealy is absolutely broken. Take her to whatever chaos memory that has a weakness to quantum and she absolutely destroys. Also, her basically talent that gives her more turns the more she kills is broken as well. She's just overall broken. Best DPS currently in the game, I'd say, without even a second thought. Serval B rank. Serval is also given free. She's an electric unit, does quite a lot of damage, but does it more kind of over time and not in a single hit. Also, she applies shock as well, which is an okay debuff, more like you know, is damage over time dots. She could probably be useful in Kafka teams later on, but we'll just have to see when Kafka comes out. Overall B tier. Silverwolf. Now, people might disagree with me, but I'm gonna put Silverwolf in S tier, mainly because she makes the game easy. You don't really have to change your team ever. Just put Silverwolf and everything you go against becomes weak against you. That is an absolutely amazing buff, and she also debuffs the enemy's weakness, like defense, which gives you more attack. Is absolutely a great unit. I'd recommend people, if they have Sealy, I'd definitely recommend Silverwolf as well in the next rerun if you want to power up your Sealy even more. Su Shang, I definitely put A rank, mainly then you get a Clara, and Clara is kind of like a standard unit, which is really hard to get, even harder than limited 5-star units. So I definitely put her on the same tier, even though it's weaker than Clara. Dingyun, still an amazing buffer, still A tier. Absolutely amazing for a lot of characters, especially for like even Sealy comps, Jingyuan comps, almost every DPS that's hyper K, like it needs a lot of energy, she's very useful for. Next is these two, so I'll be categorizing these two in a different position. I'm gonna put the girl as the physical DPS. Okay, I'll put her as the fire DPS first. That's going to definitely be an A rank. She's definitely above the fire MC, is above March 7th in defense, in my opinion. Also does defense as well as taunt, which is absolutely amazing. Basically A rank. And physical MC, I'll put him in C rank. I just don't like him. I don't like the physical DPS MC. Seems a little bit bad, just not really that good. Next is Welts. Welts definitely A rank. Welts does these. I think it's the only character in the game that does slowness, and basically that's a very huge debuff. If you think it in the end game, it basically gives you more turns by lowering the enemy's speed. This causes you to have more speed more constantly against the enemy, thus giving you more turns. Also, imaginary unit, we don't have a lot of those, extremely valuable. If you didn't summon Lucha, you still don't have Yukong. And yeah, a great unit overall. Next is Yanqing. Yanqing is an A tier. He's the best currently ice DPS in the game. Extremely valuable for the chaos memory, and yeah, does a lot of damage if you build him correctly. I haven't built mine correctly at all, but I'll definitely have to get to it. I've seen what people can do with Yanqing, it's crazy. Next is Yukong. Yukong I'm definitely putting on the A tier just because she's the only FTP imaginary unit we have, but not just because of that. She's also pretty damn amazing as a buffer. Also does a lot of break for imaginary, and that's extremely useful, especially because imaginary gives you the imprison effect when it breaks. So extremely valuable character. Definitely suggest you build her for Chaos Memory if you don't have any other characters, the imaginary unit, or even just because she's a good character. And all the others we still have not seen in the game. I don't even know most of these are. That's definitely Downhung, and that's Link's Son, and that's Fan Suan and Kafka Blade. Don't know who these three are. Yeah, so basically that's my tier list for the end of the 1.1 version of the game. Until next time, guys, see y'all later. Please like, comment down below, and subscribe. It will really help me out a lot. Until next time, see ya.